What separates a criminal from a CEO? Is it a moral code, a business license, or is it just the product you sell? In 2009, Forbes Magazine added a new name to its annual list of billionaires, right alongside Mark Zuckerberg and Oprah Winfrey. His name was Joaquín Guzmán. The world would come to know him as El Chapo. His estimated net worth? $14 billion. But the real question wasn't if he was a billionaire. It was how. Forget everything you think you know about drug kingpins. El Chapo wasn't just a thug. He was a logistical visionary, a twisted Steve Jobs of smuggling. His business secret wasn't violence. It was innovation. And his greatest innovation was buried deep beneath the U.S.-Mexico border. I want you to picture this. You're not in a dark, dirty tunnel. You're in a subterranean superhighway. The air is cool, circulated by a custom ventilation system. Electric lights hum above you, stretching into the darkness. And on a perfectly laid set of steel tracks, a motorized cart glides past, laden with millions of dollars in product. This wasn't just a tunnel. This was an underground distribution center, a direct supply line to his biggest market, bypassing authorities entirely. Some were even equipped with hydraulic lifts, popping up in secret warehouses hundreds of miles from the border. This was his version of Amazon Prime. Guaranteed next-day delivery. But a brilliant supply chain means nothing if you have no market share. And in the cartel world, competition is fierce. Chapo didn't just fight his rivals, he staged hostile takeovers. Imagine a rival cartel controlling a lucrative smuggling route through Tijuana. Chapo's business development team wouldn't just send a warning, they would systematically dismantle the competition's operations. Key personnel would vanish. Warehouses would burn. The message was brutally simple. Merge with us, or be liquidated. He treated territory like a stock portfolio, acquiring routes that promised the highest returns and ruthlessly cutting loose any that underperformed. His human resources department wasn't just about hiring sicarios. It was a sophisticated network of corruption, placing officials on his payroll from local police chiefs to high-ranking government insiders. He was buying infrastructure. And here's the part that even the investigators didn't see coming. The U.S. government calculated that $14 billion figure by estimating the revenue from the tons of cocaine he shipped to the United States. But they missed his most genius business move: vertical integration. He didn't just ship the product. He started controlling its production at the source in South America. He was cutting out the middleman. The cost savings were astronomical, and his profit margins exploded. He wasn't just the distributor. He was the manufacturer, the shipper, and the retailer. So, the climax, the moment of truth. When he was finally captured and extradited, the U.S. government officially tried to seize that $14 billion fortune. They sent teams of forensic accountants to untangle his financial web. And what did they find? Almost nothing. There were no stock certificates, no bank accounts in his name. The fortune was a ghost. It had been laundered into 1,000 different streams: luxury real estate hidden behind shell corporations, stacks of cash buried in the Mexican desert, businesses that looked perfectly legitimate on the surface. The $14 billion wasn't a bank account. It was the value of the enterprise, the machine itself. And even with the CEO locked away in a supermax prison for life, the machine he built never stopped running. In the end, El Chapo proved that the core principles of business, innovation, logistics, and aggressive expansion, are terrifyingly universal. The only difference is the product you sell and the ultimate price of failure. That line between a brilliant strategist and a ruthless criminal. Where do you think it is? Is it just about what's legal? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for listening all the way through. As a reward for sticking around, I want to share one more detail that shows the true depth of his CEO mindset. It's about brand management. Because every great CEO knows that your company is nothing without a powerful brand. And El Chapo's brand strategy was masterful. While the rest of the world saw him as a monster, in his home state of Sinaloa, he cultivated the image of a folk hero, a dangerous, real-life Robin Hood. This was his dark version of corporate social responsibility. He poured money into local communities. He would pay for electricity in a village, pave roads, even build churches. He created jobs not just in the cartel, but in the legitimate businesses he used as fronts. He was building brand loyalty at the grassroots level. He made sure the people saw him not as an oppressor, but as a provider, someone more reliable than their own government. And that brand loyalty paid off. It created a human shield of protection. But what happens when the CEO, the company's most valuable asset, is compromised? Well, in 2015, when he was locked in Mexico's most secure prison, Altiplano, he initiated his most audacious project yet. His engineers, the same kind who designed his border tunnels, dug for more than a year. They created a mile-long, perfectly ventilated and fully lit tunnel that led directly into the shower of his prison cell. And at the end of that tunnel, a motorcycle on a custom-built rail system was waiting to whisk him away. This wasn't just a prison break. It was a multi-million-dollar investment to protect the company's primary asset. It proved that his greatest product was never the drugs. It was the myth of El Chapo himself, the untouchable man who could literally bend the world beneath his feet to his will. And if this story made you look at the business world a little differently, share this episode with that one friend who loves a true crime story with a corporate twist.